with Sarah walking downstairs from the upper floor of her house. Suddenly, she is struck by intense pain. At the same time, Boyd enters Fatima's room and is shocked by what he sees. Fatima is sitting on the floor, shaping strange, large spheres out of mud and water. Disturbed, Boyd asks her what she is doing. Meanwhile, the others are gathering food supplies near the lake when they suddenly notice a rope floating in the water. As they pull it closer, a sealed net rises from beneath the surface. Inside the net is something horrifying that looks like a human corpse. Elsewhere, Julie once again finds herself transported to a place that feels like the past. Dead bodies are scattered everywhere, creating a terrifying scene. Standing among the corpses is the mysterious man in yellow. The moment he notices Julie, he slowly begins walking toward her. A few hours earlier, everyone had gathered inside the police station, where the yellow suit discovered in the forest had been placed on display. Henry reveals that years ago, his wife Miranda painted pictures of a man wearing the exact same outfit. The revelation leaves everyone stunned. Jade becomes convinced this cannot be a coincidence. He believes that if the clothes have appeared now, then the man himself may still be somewhere nearby. Boyd dismisses the situation as another attempt to frighten everyone, but the fear spreading through the room is obvious on every face. The conversation then turns to the boy dressed in white, who warned them that they are running out of time. On the other side of town, Sophia stays with Sarah. Sarah opens up about her past and asks why Sophia chose to remain by her side despite knowing everything she has done. Sophia quietly answers that sometimes even good people become victims of terrible things. Sophia performs a strange ritual in an attempt to discover who is truly behind the voices that Sarah and Elgin have been hearing. During the ritual, she realizes that the mysterious man in yellow is the one controlling them. At that exact moment, Sarah is struck by another wave of unbearable pain, as if she is being assigned a new mission. At the same time, Tabitha confronts Jade and demands to know why he took her son Ethan into the forest. Jade explains that Ethan claimed he had seen his father Jim, who told him to search for the Lake of Tears. Tabitha dismisses it as a hallucination, but Jade insists that in this place, impossible things are often the only truth that matters. Meanwhile, Tabitha returns home and walks into Ethan's room. She finds Ethan trying to contact his father Jim through the RV radio, but no response comes back. Tabitha asks him why he never told her about the Lake of Tears earlier, and why he went to Jade and Victor instead. Ethan quietly explains that he was afraid everyone would think it was just his imagination. That's why he wanted to find the place himself first, so he could prove it was real. He also reveals that his father was the one who told him about the lake, and he believes Jim may still be somewhere nearby. Meanwhile, Julie and Randall are sitting inside the bus, reading through old children's books. Randall thinks the stories are meaningless, but Julie discovers one particular tale about a character named Fred the Storywalker, who had the ability to travel through time. The character would move across different eras and become part of major events throughout history. Julie begins to suspect that the mysteries of this place may somehow be connected to time travel. Just then, Tabitha arrives, and the two quickly hide the books. She tells Julie to pack her things because they are all heading into the forest with Ethan. When Julie hears that Ethan claims to have seen his father Jim, she is completely shocked. Tabitha explains that if they try to stop Ethan, he will simply sneak off into the woods alone, so it is safer for them to stay by his side. Later, Tabitha pulls Randall aside and warns him to take care of Julie. She bluntly tells him that if he ever hurts her daughter, she will never forgive him. Randall seriously assures her that he understands. Elsewhere, Ellis is preparing supplies for the journey, though he is uncomfortable leaving Fatima behind by herself. Fatima reassures him that she can take care of herself and reminds him that Donna trusts her as well. Eventually, Ellis agrees and joins the others. At the same time, Donna is explaining household responsibilities to Kenny and specifically asks him to keep an eye on Fatima while the others are gone. Once the group finally leaves for the forest, Fatima quietly returns upstairs to her room. There, Elgin has created a strange structure made from mud and water. Fatima tells him to leave because she now wants to continue the process alone. Elsewhere, Henry notices Victor wandering among the trees once again. Victor explains that the trees constantly change their positions over time. Henry decides to help him, and together they begin measuring the distances between the trees by counting their steps. Meanwhile, Elgin arrives at the church, where he unexpectedly runs into Sarah. Both of them are visibly startled. Elgin admits that everything feels strangely familiar, because when he first arrived in this place, Sarah was the very first person he met. But now, he says, everything feels completely different.
Elgin asks Sarah if she still sees the mysterious woman who used to contact her before. Sarah quietly says no, and suggests that maybe the woman disappeared because Elgin had already completed whatever task she wanted from him. Then Sarah softly asks if Elgin feels the same strange change as well. Elgin immediately realizes that something is wrong with Sarah. Concerned, he asks her what happened. Sarah admits that she believed the terrifying voices would never return, but today she started hearing them again. Kenny hears the sound of running water coming from upstairs. When he enters Fatima's room, he is shocked to find her mixing mud and water together to create large, strange-looking spheres. The sight leaves him deeply disturbed. At the same time, the mushrooms begin affecting Jade more intensely. He struggles to piece together fragments of memories from the past, trying to make sense of the visions flooding his mind. Elsewhere, Boyd opens an old box inside his room and discovers a letter written by his late wife, Abby. Reading the letter brings back painful memories. Then Boyd notices his wedding ring, engraved with the symbol of infinity, and becomes lost in thought. Outside, Kenny keeps a close eye on Jade as his condition worsens. Jade suddenly calls out to Boyd and asks if he can see Kenny too, or if he is only imagining him. Boyd immediately realizes that the mushrooms are beginning to seriously affect Jade's mind. At the same time, Julie and Randall continue reading the story of Fred the Storywalker. The book explains that Fred used special bookmarks to travel through time, allowing him to move to any era he wanted. Julie becomes convinced that the book contains hidden truths about their world. She tells Randall that perhaps storywalking first began in this mysterious place because impossible things become real here, things that would only be considered dreams anywhere else. Julie also explains that this may be the reason her mother had dreams about this place since childhood, and perhaps other people around the world have experienced similar visions as well. She believes the author of the book may have seen the same strange images and simply turned them into a fictional story.
Boyd and Jade return to Colony House. When Boyd enters Fatima's room, she explains that she stopped Kenny from interrupting because she did not want Boyd to worry. Boyd stares at the mud and water spread across the room and asks what exactly she is doing. In a calm and unsettling tone, Fatima replies that she is making monsters.
Boyd continues questioning Fatima about the strange monster she is creating. Fatima explains that she grew up in a community where people from many different religions live together. Her father was fascinated by spiritual beliefs and often told her that every religion, in its own way, tries to bring humanity closer to God. Boyd speaks with Kenny and tries to reassure him that Fatima does not want to hurt anyone. But Kenny anxiously argues that this is exactly what makes the situation dangerous. According to him, this place first enters a person's mind, then slowly changes them until they eventually become monsters themselves. Kenny can already feel that Fatima is no longer the same person she once was, and deep down, Boyd is beginning to realize the same terrifying truth. At the same time, Donna continues leading the group deeper into the forest. Along the way, she asks Tabitha why she decided to join such a dangerous journey. In a broken voice, Tabitha admits that she no longer understands herself anymore. Memories of Jim constantly haunt her mind, and she fears that if she gets too close to uncovering the secrets of this place, something terrible may happen to her as well. But Tabitha also knows that if she does not try, she may lose her children forever. That is why she is finally ready to risk everything. Before Tabitha can even finish expressing her fears, Donna steps in to encourage her. She tells the group to stop for a while and rest, and everyone agrees. Then Donna firmly reminds Tabitha that she is no longer alone. She bluntly tells her that she is not going to leave goodbye letters for her children anymore, nor is she going to throw herself into danger by herself. Donna explains that they are all a family now, and if Tabitha ever finds herself in trouble, she must tell the others first. Quietly, Tabitha agrees. At that moment, Ethan calls out to them. Nearby, they discover an injured bird lying on the ground with a damaged wing. Ethan wants to take the bird with them, but Tabitha initially refuses. However, Ethan insists that the bird could be a sign. He believes it may somehow guide them toward the Lake of Tears, and because of that, they should help it instead of leaving it behind. Eventually, Tabitha gives in and agrees. Elsewhere, Sophia stands near the bridge, staring at the pile of stones beneath which a body had once been hidden.
At the same time, Marielle and Christine notice her from a distance and begin remembering their own first days in the mysterious town. The two of them quietly wonder if Sophia has ever truly recovered from the trauma of losing her father. Marielle comments that Sophia spends nearly the entire day praying, perhaps because faith is the only thing still giving her strength.
Meanwhile, Sarah enters the diner. Her eyes immediately lock onto the water pitcher sitting nearby. She pours herself a glass of water and drinks from it, but she still hesitates to contaminate the pitcher itself. Just then, the woman running the diner approaches her and gently tells Sarah to sit down and relax. Sarah quietly admits that she has been thinking about working at the diner again, so things can return to the way they once were. The woman knows Sarah used to be an important part of this place. She tells her that she is welcome to come back anytime because people need her now more than ever. She also admits that Sarah made terrible mistakes in the past, but perhaps she is now the one who can help everyone survive. As the woman prepares to leave, Sarah nervously asks her to throw away the glass she used. The woman seems confused by the request, but she picks up the glass and walks away. At that exact moment, a horrifying scream echoes from outside. Everyone inside the diner rushes out in panic. They discover Sophia lying beneath the bridge. Marielle immediately runs to her side. In a trembling voice, Sophia explains that she was standing on the bridge when it suddenly felt as if someone violently pushed her from behind. Hearing this terrifies Sarah. Overcome with fear, Sarah slowly returns to the diner. This time, after taking another drink, she deliberately pours the remaining water from her glass back into the pitcher. Then she quietly sits down and waits to see who will drink from it next. Boyd sits lost in deep thought. Jade suddenly asks him if he believes their purpose in this place is finally over. Boyd immediately says no. Jade explains that he overheard everything about Fatima and the monster she is creating. Boyd admits that even he no longer understands what Fatima is really trying to do.
Jade then says something unsettling. According to him, if he and Tabitha had never experienced those flashes of the past, he probably would have never even considered trying the mushrooms. He explains that traumatic experiences change people, and those changes push them toward decisions that others would call madness. To Jade, the real question is not what Fatima is creating, but why she feels compelled to create it now. Meanwhile, Donna leads the group back to the lake. There, they notice the strange effigies once again, but this time, the figures seem even more disturbing than before. Ethan explains that Jade believes the statues are guardians of the spirits trapped in this place, but Donna refuses to take the idea seriously. Instead, she tells everyone to focus on gathering supplies before nightfall arrives. Randall approaches Julie with paper and a pen, only to discover that she is cutting off her own hair. When he asks why, Julie explains that the last time one of the creatures attacked her, it grabbed her by the hair. She refuses to give them that chance again. Meanwhile, Victor leads Henry to an old hidden container in the woods. After digging into the ground, Victor pulls out a bag filled with horrifying paintings. Every single drawing depicts the mysterious man in yellow. In a frightened voice, Victor explains that this man once arrived in the town the same way everyone else did, driving in as if he were just another lost traveler. At first, the townspeople trusted him because he seemed completely normal, but in reality, he was something far worse. Victor then reveals the terrifying truth. After everyone died, he saw the man in yellow standing near his mother's body, eating her corpse. The color drains from Henry's face as he realizes that the man in yellow is not just a story or a myth, but the most terrifying secret hidden within this place. Julie and Randall stand near the mysterious ruins. Julie explains her new plan. According to her, she will enter the ruins and travel into the past. Then she will draw a specific symbol on a piece of paper before returning. If the symbol still exists after she comes back, it will prove that her bookmark method actually works. She suddenly finds herself in the middle of the horrifying day when the entire town was massacred. Corpses are scattered everywhere, and the terrifying sight leaves Julie frozen in fear. Then she sees him, the man in yellow. He is crouched over a dead body, tearing flesh apart and feeding on it. Suddenly, he notices Julie staring at him. Panicking, Julie quickly draws a symbol on the paper and throws it toward the town. But the man in yellow immediately begins walking toward her. But just before the creature can reach her, Randall pulls her back out of the ruins. The moment she returns, Julie is completely shaken. She instantly checks the piece of paper, but the symbol is gone. That is when she realizes the horrifying truth. And with that terrifying and mind-bending revelation, the mysterious episode comes to an end.